This is probably giving too much attention to a thing that doesn't deserve so much attention, so I'll at least give it a small amount of attention rather than a large amount of attention. But this whole Wikipedia page, when you look up the Mandela Effect, just automatically redirecting to the page for confabulation, it's telling, and I'm not sure of what exactly. I mean, I don't know that Wikipedia is. I I don't know. I don't know what happens behind the scenes on Wikipedia, but I doubt they're uh, really fully organized enough for there to be any sort of conspiracy going on there. Although I'm sure that there are people at work with certain agendas, but but for that large a community to have made a decision to completely ignore the Mandela Effect, which is not a conspiracy theory, it is a phenomenon. Even if it's a phenomenon of uh, tens or hundreds of thousands of people who are actively participating on YouTube to describe their completely delusional memories or confabulated memories of the Berenstain Bears spelling, that's an event which is separate from just the concept of confabulation. So even if everybody in the Mandela who's experiencing the Mandela effect is only experiencing confabulation, and C3PO really always had a silver leg, even though in some of the media he has a silver leg and in some of the media he doesn't, and even though these people are so adamant, these people, me being one of them, are so adamant about certain ones of these memories because they not only have, like in the Berenstain Bears example, if you listen to people's stories about it, they not only have memories of the spelling, but they have memories of why they remember it that way. They have these meta memories because, like in my case, the spelling didn't make sense to me because in my family we pronounced it the Berenstain Bears, but yet it was clearly spelled Stein. So I had to make a special rule in my head that said, okay, I'm going to pronounce the stain because that's how we pronounce it in this family, but it's actually spelled in a different way than I would remember. So I have not only the memory of the spelling, but this extra meta memory, which underscores the validity of my memory of the spelling. Because why would I have this extra memory if there was no, um, if the spelling wasn't different than it seemed to me? And other people have different similar types of meta memories where they had a special song that they sang that rhymed with Stein somehow, and they pronounced it Stein, and they remember, um, singing with their sister this extra rhyme when they read the books that rhymed with Stein. So they have these, we have these, kind of meta memories which add that lend weight to the fact that our Mandela effect memories, which differ from the recorded history, it lends weight to those memories, and the so-called residual histories, like of the JFK car, those lend major weight to there being something going on other than confabulation. The fact that the museum car, the museum replica car, and the car in the Zapruder film have different numbers of seats, that lends major credibility to this being something other than confabulation. But let's say it's just confabulation. The Mandela Effect still deserves its own Wikipedia page because it is not simply confabulation. Let's say it is confabulation. Let's say it's completely confabulation, and all of us are just totally misremembering these things for whatever reason, for the reasons described by confabulation. It's still, the Mandela Effect still deserves its own page because it is an event that is happening involving, let's say, mass confabulation. That deserves its own page that says the Mandela Effect is an event involving confabulation of tens or hundreds of thousands of people, and those are just the ones we know of who are actively participating about this on YouTube. but that involves these tens or hundreds of thousands of people who are confabulating X, Y, Z. You know, it's still an event separate from just the concept of confabulation. It's not like in 1984 there was this huge event of confabulated memories that people communicated over. Now, maybe it's just because the internet exists, you could say, but I mean, the internet's been around for quite a while now, and this didn't happen 10 years ago. You know, it's happening now, or it seems to be accelerated now. Anyway, I think that it obviously deserves its own page because it's not simply confabulation, it's at least a special event of confabulation, if it is completely confabulation, and therefore it deserves its own page. And it doesn't hurt anyone to give it its own page if it is confabulation. But the fact that Snopes totally disses this event, this effect, this phenomenon, you know, it is something that's happening. There's no question about that the Mandela effect is happening. What it is questionable, you know, but there's no question that it's happening. So it's not a conspiracy theory. It is a phenomenon. And to kind of go out of your way to not have a page about it does create suspicion, but an absurd kind of suspicion because, like my example yesterday, it's like trying to hide an elephant by putting a tiny red napkin on top of it. And when you type in elephant on Google, it gives you a picture of an elephant with a tiny red napkin on top, and it says, "This is red." You know, it's like, well, I mean, you can't hide the elephant. You know, I mean, not everybody, but so many people have this concept in their mind of the Mandela effect that just by not having a page for it on Wikipedia, it doesn't make it go away.